Happy 24-hour stream eve. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. Of course, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri. Eric Ruby is serving his one-game suspension before the 24-hour stream. But don't worry, Captain Redbeard is behind the Mac. Just beeping and booping. Ain't that right, Captain Redbeard?
Just beeping and booping along, man.
Absolutely. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. What's up, Ernesto? Ben in the chat saying happy day before the big stream. That's right, 24-hour stream. We are less than 24 hours away. Kicking things off at 9 a.m. on Thursday, March 20th, going all the way to March 21st at 9 a.m. on Friday. A ton of fun content in store, so make sure you are subscribed to PHNX Sports and you come say what's up tomorrow during the stream. But looking forward to today. We still have a ton to get into as it relates to Arizona State. We are a few days away from spring football starting. That's going to go ahead start next week. But the Big 12 Pro Day, that is underway in Frisco, Texas. So we're going to get into Leif Fautanu, Caleb McCullough, some of the other Sun Devils that are participating in that Pro Day in Texas. We are, of course, going to be chatting a little bit more about that 24-hour stream at the tail end of today's show. We've got a former NFL legendary coach, if you will, received a gift from the Sun Devils. We're going to check and see what the man of the hour received. And then we are, of course, going to be talking about royalty. That's right. The Crown basketball tournament taking place in Las Vegas. If you thought your Sun Devils were done hooping around, well, you thought wrong. Bobby Hurley and company, they will be participating in the Crown basketball tournament in Las Vegas. Goes from March 31st, that's when the first round begins, through April 6th. That is the actual championship game. The entire tournament will be played in Las Vegas, first and second rounds over at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and then the semis and the finals are going to be played at T-Mobile Arena, which formerly was the home of the Pac-12 tournament. So what's the field look like minus Arizona State? Well, you got Boise State, Butler, Central Florida, Cincinnati, Colorado, DePaul, Georgetown, George Washington, Nebraska, Oregon State, Southern California, Tulane, Utah, Villanova, and Washington State. So not necessarily a tournament full of blue bloods, but it is a tournament that could benefit Arizona State, the basketball program, in the future. Because unlike some of the other college basketball tournaments, you will receive cash prizes in the form of pretty much NIL payments. Okay, so there's $50,000 for reaching the actual semifinals of this tournament. There's $100,000 for reaching the Final Four of this tournament, and then $300,000 for the winner of the tournament goes to the players, the program, in the form of NIL. JJB saying way too early to know for sure, but will JQ play? No, I do not anticipate Jaden Quaintance playing in this game whatsoever. Not going to really get too deep into the details of what he's been dealing with, still with that injury that he suffered a few weeks back. But from my conversations and things that I've heard, I do not expect Jaden Quaintance to play in that game. or the tournament realistically at all. So if Jaden Quaintz is back at Arizona State next season, I imagine that would be the time when you see JQ again, but don't expect him to be playing in this tournament. ASU will play Nebraska in the first round of this tournament. Now the Cornhuskers, they went 17-14 on the year, 12th in the Big Ten Conference. They lost 5 in a row to end the season. So not necessarily the greatest season in the world for Nebraska, but realistically, you look at the entire field, there's a reason they're playing in this tournament, right? They weren't good enough. Nobody in this tournament was good enough to be dancing the real dance in March. Some of these teams weren't even good enough for the NIT. Now, what does that say about each and every one of these programs? Well, I think you have to dive into it individually. For Arizona State, we saw what happened this season. We saw what transpired. We saw why Arizona State is playing in this tournament and not the first round on Thursday, right? Injuries, potentially poor coaching, poor rotation management, a lack of depth, couldn't close big games, could only play one half. A number of reasons why Arizona State's not in the big dance. So how do we feel about this? How do we feel about this tournament? I want to hear from everybody in the chat. Are you treating this like an NIT invitation, or is this something completely different, right? Because you get cash prizes. The NIT doesn't have that. There's no NIL packages for players. This tournament does feel a little bit different than what the NIT has to offer. Now, of course, if you're a college basketball fan, you don't care about any tournament other than the tournament. March Madness, the NCAA college basketball tournament. That's what you care about. Of course, you'd love to see Bobby Hurley's Arizona State Sun Devils in that tournament. This tournament's going to help the program. I genuinely believe that, whether they win or not. And I think year over year, if you don't make the NCAA tournament, this is the tournament that you want to participate in. Aside from the NIL benefits, right? It's not the NIT. The NIT is, I'm going to, be harsh here. It's for losers. If you go to the NIT, you're a loser. I genuinely believe that. This tournament in Las Vegas, a bunch of sponsors, bunch of big brands in Sin City. I mean, half of ASU's roster is either too young to participate in any of the actual Las Vegas festivities, or they're getting ready to update their LinkedIn accounts to start searching for jobs. This is going to be good in terms of being able to get eyes on these individual players. The program, yes, you want the money, you want the NIL, sure, you get a trophy at the end of it. I don't think you're putting the Crown Basketball Tournament trophy in a trophy case. That's just my opinion on the whole thing. I don't think it warrants putting it in a trophy case. It's not an actual trophy, but for a Jaden Quaintance, for a Josan Sannon, for an Alston Mason, for a Sean Phillips, for an Adam Miller, to be able to go out there and still be playing this deep into the season, regardless of what's at stake, the eyes on those individuals is what's going to help further their careers. Whether that be Josan Sannon going for 25 in a big game, maybe that somehow unlocks an NIL deal for him back here in the Valley because a local business owner was watching that game and just so happened to love what Josan Sannon has to offer. Or maybe a team overseas sees what Adam Miller or Alston Mason is doing and says, hey, you know what, maybe we should go give this guy a ring. That helps. And the reason I think that this is different than the NIT is because the NIT has been around for so long, right? It's something that has always been, oh, well, you're not good enough to be in the field of the real tournament. Maybe you can get a half-ass invitation to go participate in the NIT. And would you rather find a $5 bill on the ground or have your college basketball team win the NIT? Let's be real here. Captain, what would you rather? Would you rather have a $5 bill that you find on the ground, nice, crisp, or would you rather Arizona State win the NIT?
ASU win the NIT.
See, I disagree. I'd rather find a crispy $5 bill.
All right.
The NIT, let's put that poll in the chat. I want that in the chat. Would you rather find a $5 bill or have ASU win the NIT? The reason I say that is because nobody gives a crap about the NIT. Nobody. And I think this tournament, the Crown Basketball Tournament, has the potential to be something different. They've got an opportunity in this era of college basketball to make something unique out of a college basketball tournament that isn't the actual postseason of the college basketball season, right? JJB in the chat saying his official take. Happy for the seniors. Good experience for freshmen. Hope we have enough healthy guys. Hope it's a good time. LOL. I think that's a good way to put it. I think you hope everyone's healthy. I think you hope you have enough guys to get out there. I think you hope that the freshmen have a really fun experience, improve, get better, build chemistry, build synergy. I think that's what you hope for. I think there's a lot of Arizona State fans that hoped for maybe some different outcomes this season. Didn't get them. So we'll see if your hopes and dreams come true in Vegas in late March. Will in the chat saying how the NIT has fallen in the past 30, 40 years. Went from the tournament to crown a champion to being the third best postseason tournament. The fall off needs to be studied. It's blech to me. It's gross. The NIT is gross. I couldn't tell you a single team. Actually, that's not true. I think Oklahoma State's in the NIT. What should that tell you? If you watched any Big 12 basketball this year, what should that tell you if Oklahoma State is in the NIT? It's a tournament. And that's putting it lightly, to be completely honest with you. I don't like it. I don't at all. I love the fact that you are still going to be able to get these guys playing big city, under the lights. There's money involved. Like, I think the viewership, because this tournament is going to be on Fox, I think that is certainly going to help it. Like, there's just a lot of, I think, fun elements to what the Crown College Basketball Tournament can actually be. Do I think Arizona State wins this tournament? I think if you look at the field, I think you could make an argument if Arizona State was fully healthy that they would be one of the best teams in this tournament. However, we know that this team isn't fully healthy. I haven't actually heard from the university who is going to be participating, who is going to actually travel to Vegas for this tournament. We'll see in the coming weeks, coming days, because, of course, again, Arizona State plays in just 12 days in that first round against Nebraska. But you look at the rest of this field, like Boise State, not scared of the Mountain West in basketball, right? Butler hasn't been good in how long? UCF, Cincinnati, teams Arizona State has already seen this season. USC, Oregon State, teams and programs that have fallen off in the Pac-12 and the Big Ten that are just kind of mid, right? Down year for Must Bus. We talked about Nebraska, a bad Big Ten team. Washington State, they're always trash when it comes to basketball. Like Utah, another Big 12 team. No, you're not getting the best teams in this tournament. We know that, right? The best teams are playing in a different one. But there are opportunities, I think, in the Crown College Basketball Tournament. Again, that could be fun regardless if you are a great team or not. Maybe you're turning on the Crown Basketball Tournament in one of the off days of the actual March Madness tournament, right? Because we all know you get to a lull after the round of 32, and you're like, okay, well, gotta wait like 3-4 days before an actual college basketball game. Turn on the Crown College Basketball Tournament. I'd rather do that than the NIT. Just being honest with you. How's that poll coming, Captain Redbeard? Do we have a lot of people that would rather hold a $5 bill?
We have 60% of them.
Yeah. 60-40.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I really thought more people would rather. Man. You just want to see a dub?
Yeah.
But you can have a personal dub if you get the $5 bill. You know that, right? No. It's a personal win.
But $5 is not a personal dub.
It is, though. Because that gets you your...
What does that get in this economy?
It gets you an Americano. That's what it gets you. Does it not? It gets you your cup of coffee order. Hands down. I would rather. So what I'm pretty much saying is I'd rather have a free cup of coffee than watch Arizona State win the NIT. I'll stand on that.
Bobby needs some wins.
Well, maybe he should have done that when the wins mattered. He should have done that in the regular season instead of, waiting around till March to do all that stuff. That's again, just my 2 cents on the whole thing. JJB saying Wazoo made the NCAA tournament last year. They did. They did make the NCAA tournament last year, but if you remember, Wazoo was a 3-point, just assassin-built team. They're kind of they remind me like BYU a little bit. Like, they would either shoot the lights out of the basketball or they would just be god-awful. And against really good teams last year, Washington State just shot the 3 ball really well. Overall, they're not a good basketball program. Like, Washington's not a good basketball program. Utah's not a good basketball program. Oregon State's not a good basketball program. Like, all of these teams and programs should be a tier below Arizona State if Arizona State was fully healthy going into this tournament. Again, just my 2 cents. I know Arizona State's not fully healthy. Do I think Arizona State wins this tournament? No, I do not think that your Arizona State Sun Devils win the 2025 Crown College Basketball Tournament. I don't. Not with Jaden Quaintance not playing. I don't know if Adam Miller is going to play. Like, we know the injuries he's been dealing with over the course of the last month. And then you take away those 2 guys, what's the depth on the roster, on the team? Not good. And we know that. We've seen that all year long, that this team doesn't have the depth off the bench to realistically play 2 full halves of college basketball. What's going to change in a tournament format? Nothing. These guys are just going to get more gassed quicker. It's just how it works. But it is what it is. Make sure you guys vote in the poll. Let me know if you'd rather have a crispy 5 or your Arizona State Sun Devils win the NIT. Look, the PHNX Sun Devil show is just getting started. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop all of your comments, rants, and thoughts on these college basketball tournaments that aren't the big dance, that aren't March Madness, and we'll get to all that and so much more on the other side of this quick break. Of course, we are here in Studio K, thanks to our friends over at Circle K. Look, when I'm doing these solo shows, I almost hate it because you can't see the lovely neon sign that we have behind us. I'm going to just slide over right here. You guys can see that Studio K, Circle K snack cart that we have. I'm going to put you guys on game real quick, okay? Not only should you sign up to be an Inner Circle member, which is Circle K's free membership program where you guys are going to start saving money every single day on gas, on snacks, so much more. Literally, your first 5 fill-ups, you guys could save 25 cents per gallon. But the jalapeno kettle cooked chips at Circle K are an absolute home run of a snack. They are a 5-star review. They're a 5-star blue chip player. Literally, see what I did there? They're everything, okay? And it's not just that snack. They've got so much to offer over at Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Make sure you visit CircleK.com for details. Look, I love our friends over at Circle K because they help me save money. And I love my friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos because they help me make money. Not only that, but our friends over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, they've reimagined the upper deck kitchen and bar. They've turned it into a sneaker lover's dream. Now it's going to take place starting tomorrow, March 20th through the 30th. Sneakers, stories, and style, okay? From the first step to the final dunk, discover the history and the artistry behind each pair of those sneakers, okay? Look, head over to playathegila.com/promotion/the collection to check out all of the details. And remember, you do you at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playathegila.com for more details. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review, wherever you get your podcast. Will in the chat saying, at least we're not West Virginia, LMAO. Feel bad for them. Went from a lock in the NCAA tournament to not getting any tournament bid, missing all 3, and their head coach ditching them to go to Indiana all in 36 hours. Not great for the Mountaineers. It's been a rough, like you said, 36 hours for the folks up in West Virginia, but when is it not rough to be in West Virginia? Like, let's just be real. As somebody who's spent maybe 12 hours in that state, it's fine. But it's West Virginia, you know? Captain, I feel like you have, for some reason, some strange affinity for West Virginia or just the Virginias in general.
You don't know me very well. I've never been.
You've never been to Virginia or West Virginia?
I just know the song.
Great song.
West Virginia.
Is it a top 10 song of all time?
Ooh. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
No?
Maybe top 10 bar song.
Ooh, top 10 bar song, I think is top 10 like crowd song.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Will in chat saying the one thing I do like about the NIT is the teams getting to host the first couple rounds, something rewarding. I think that's fine. Again, it doesn't do anything for me, right? Like, oh my God, Arizona State hosting first round NIT. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't knock my socks off. I could be in the minority here, but it just, like, for me, it doesn't scream we're back. You know, it doesn't scream this is the place to play college basketball when you're hosting an NIT game. Like, it just doesn't. Like, think about it. Think about the difference in Arizona State football versus basketball. Like, Arizona State, they got a bye in the college football playoff, right? There was a scenario where Arizona State could have hosted a college football playoff game. That knocks my socks off. That does it for me. Much rather have that than probably $500. And that's 100% honest. NIT hosting, like, it's whatever, dude. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? That for me is why I don't even watch some of these other tournaments. I don't watch the NIT. Will I watch the Crown College basketball tournament? Yes, as long as Arizona State is in it. If they're not, then I'm not watching it. Why? Because it means absolutely nothing. It's not a legitimate championship. It's not a legitimate postseason run. It's just It's to keep playing. At least in this tournament, the Crown College basketball tournament, there's money at the end of it, right? For the athletes. Some NIL stuff. At least there's that. Again, this is just where I stand on all that super fun stuff. Will saying it's not the biggest win to host NIT games, but the ticket revenue could help. I don't want to sound like I'm arguing with you, Will. I think you're bringing up valid points that you believe in and that others might believe in. I personally just, I don't know how many people are spending however much time to go watch ASU play in the NIT. But again, I could be wrong. I could very well be in the minority of it. Captain Redbeard said he'd rather watch ASU win this tournament than have a $5 bill. I would rather have a $5 bill. Maybe that says more about my finances than my actual beliefs, but that's, neither here nor there. But what is there is the Big 12 Pro Day. And when I say there, I mean Frisco, Texas. Kenny Dillingham, he was out there today. If you missed it, go check out KD's Twitter. No, not Kevin Durant, Kenny Dillingham. He had an interview on NFL Network this morning, which is actually where the Big 12 Pro Day is being broadcasted over the next couple of days. It's a multi-day pro day. So some of the offensive linemen going today. You also had some linebackers, I believe some edge rushers. Later on in the week, you'll get some DBs, some running backs, quarterbacks, etc. And then I believe they round up the entire thing with the specialists on the last day of the Big 12 Pro Day. We talked a little bit last week about some of the players that have potential to really boost their draft stock. Leif Fautanu, obviously a starting center for Arizona State over the course of the last couple of seasons. We know he didn't get invited to the actual NFL Combine, so he's got an opportunity to really make a name for himself and I think enter the conversation to be drafted at this Big 12 Pro Day. I think Shamari Simmons, another player who, for Arizona State, the past 2 seasons has been a really productive player. 2 years ago on the back end at the safety position, and then last year, obviously transitioning to that nickel corner spot. He's got an opportunity. Someone that I think already should be a 6th or 7th round draft selection. But I could certainly see him having a really good pro day, potentially boosting that as high as maybe the 5th round. But we will see. Caleb McCullough, another interesting prospect. Some other offensive linemen for Arizona State. But of course, the most notable name not on that list is Arizona State running back Cam Skattebo. We heard Scat just a few weeks ago at the actual NFL Combine talk about when he was going to do his quote-unquote pro day. I believe that is going to be on March 27th. Now, a couple different layers to this. Because Arizona State is now in the Big 12 and they have the actual conference pro day, it doesn't look like Arizona State, the university, is going to be having an official pro day with Scat, with some of these other Sun Devils who are participating at that Big 12 pro day. Now, Cam Skattebo, to my knowledge, it sounds like is going to be hosting somewhat of a private workout where he will run the 40, do some of the drills that he didn't end up doing at the actual NFL Combine. Again, I believe that is going to take place on March 27th. We have still yet to hear if media are going to be invited, if they're going to be allowed, whatever. So that may just be something that you see come out on social media a little bit later on after that occurs, maybe on the actual day. We know scouts are going to be there, general managers, coaches, etc., to watch Scat and maybe some of these other ASU players. But again, there's not going to be an actual official ASU Pro Day, this is the first time I think that I've covered Arizona State where there hasn't actually been one. But you're starting to see college sports change, right? These pro days are changing. The NFL draft is changing in a sense. Conference realignment is obviously changing. There were people in this chat yesterday and a couple weeks ago talking about, should Arizona State leave the Big 12 for the Big 10? Like, let's pump the brakes just a tad. We just got here. We just got here, planted our flag, and you want us to leave? Like, let's calm down. Just a tad. Now, don't get me wrong. I think long term, and I'm going completely off the rails here. Don't get me wrong. Long term, I think going to the Big Ten would probably be the right move for Arizona State, just financially, right? Getting to play the cream of the crop in college football in Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon again, Washington. Yeah, I think that's beneficial. I think for Arizona State right now with this current coaching staff and the players having this roster, I think playing in the Big 12 is perfect. You got a lot of Texas to Tempe kids. You got a lot of Cali Devils that are at Arizona State. We know the ties that this coaching staff has here in the Valley. So being able to still be relatively close to home when you're on the road in this conference, I think is something beneficial. And then also being able to play these Texas schools, being able to play a Texas Tech, being able to play a Baylor, a TCU, schools close by, right, in Oklahoma State, doing that and further establishing your recruiting pipeline in those states is massive for Kenny Dillingham and this staff, I think, long term, right? So moving to the Big Ten might hurt that right now, but we'll see. A lot can change in the next half decade. I mean, heck, the Pac-12 went from dead to being a year away from having San Diego State and Utah State in it. That's going to be the Pac-12. Pac-12 is going to be pretty much just a glorified Mountain West with Oregon State and Washington State. Welcome to 2025, folks. We've got college basketball tournaments that aren't March Madness where players can win money. We've got conference pro days. It's like college sports. We decided to flip it upside down the moment we gave it a video game again. Like, that's literally what happened. Is NCAA, let's make that a thing again. And all of a sudden, maybe USC and UCLA, maybe they should go play on the road at Indiana. Maybe that should make sense. Or, maybe Cal should travel to Syracuse to play college basketball. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or the Arizona Wildcats, they should go play a baseball series in Central Florida. That makes a lot of sense. Welcome to college sports. Anything can change. Will in the chat saying Scat's going to be a private workout. Scouts and coaches will be allowed in that. We will see, Will. We will absolutely see. Might have to check in with my guy and see if we can go out there. I'll get my own stopwatch, timing myself, make sure it stays put at 4-2 flat for the Scat Man. Diego in the chat saying, what was Leafs 40 time? I haven't seen any updates from Arizona State on the actual numbers and results. With that said, the Big 12 has done a phenomenal job since Arizona State has been added and some of these other schools to sending out data, press releases, etc. So I imagine at the end of each day, we're going to actually get the results and the numbers sent to us, emailed, since, of course, I'm not in Frisco, Texas. I will 100% put that in our diehard Discord. I will also probably put a good chunk of that on social media once that's sent. But here, let me check for you right now, Diego. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, nothing. I've got nothing from the Big 12 as it stands right now. But I will, of course, update everybody when we have it. Will in the chat saying, if the Big 12 splits, ASU to the SEC is better. You can keep hockey in the NCHC, and every sport moves to compete with the Texas schools instead of going to New York and Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think that would be a better option. I just don't know if the SEC is realistically entertaining adding other schools right now. I don't think a lot of these schools are going to, or these conferences, are going to be adding other schools until the whole Clemson, Florida State situation is 100% resolved, which I don't believe it is. I know there was some stuff going on in the courts not too long ago, but I think we need to wait and see what transpires with the Seminoles and the Tigers over the course of the next couple of years. If they opt to leave the ACC, okay, where does Clemson go? Where does Florida State go? Are they teams that come to the Big 12? Do they split up? Do they go to the SEC? Are they independents? Like there's so much that I think still needs to be figured out. At that point, I don't think you're going to see Arizona State leave the Big 12 before that decision. I don't think you would see Arizona State leave the Big 12 before Notre Dame joined a conference. And Notre Dame has only joined a conference once in the history of that football program, and that was when COVID happened. So you're probably not going to see a ton of conference realignment over the course of the next few seasons, at least not affecting the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, like some of these major conferences. You may see a little bit more movement in the pack. Maybe some of these Mountain West schools leave. Maybe some of these other mid-major conference teams, programs, maybe they bounce around. Like I think that's probably a little bit more of the natural next step, because you're starting to see the fallout, right? You're starting to see the fallout of that first wave of conference realignment, which, mind you, started with Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12, going to the SEC. You had that happen. You had a handful of mid-major schools like UCF, Cincinnati, whatever, join the Big 12. Then you had the LA schools peace out on the Pac-12. Then that disbanded. Now you got Mountain West schools joining the Pac-12. So now you're at that point where it's, okay, kind of a shuffle within the lower ranks. So that's where I think this whole thing is headed for now. Once that resolves itself and all of these conferences, I think, are back to, fully operating at what they believe is full strength, then I think you're going to have a program or two probably pull the rug out from underneath the conference and say, I'm gone, we're leaving, whatever. If you wanted my one opinion on something that could happen in the Big 12, or at least maybe this is just my brain kind of thinking this way, I wouldn't be shocked if a Deion Sanders extension at Colorado spelled Colorado trying to go independent. I wouldn't be shocked at all by that. I don't think there was a team that had more nationally televised games than Colorado this past season. I think Colorado could certainly secure a network deal the way that Notre Dame does with Peacock and NBC. As long as Deion's there, I think there is always going to be people that want to see that want to love it, that want to hate it. So if there's going to be any movement in this conference, I think it starts realistically with Colorado. But I don't see that transpiring without a Deion Sanders extension, which the last time Deion was asked about an extension, he said he's not worried about taking care of himself. He's taking the Kenny Dillingham approach, and he's going to make sure everybody else is taken care of. So we will see what transpires over the course of the next couple of years. Let me know what you guys think. Arizona State staying in the Big 12? Do you want them to go to the Big 10? Do you want them to be independent Devils, huh? How about that? Could we deal with all that stuff? Or we're going to the SEC? Let me know in the chat. We'll get to all that and so much more on the other side of this break. I don't know if you guys know this, but when we suspend Eric Ruby for a game or two, we actually just put him in a Waymo and we just have the Waymo drive around all day. It's not really a suspension. It's more of a really fun day for Senor Rubis, which is totally fair. I mean, how could you not have fun in those Waymo vehicles? Look, and if you don't know about Waymo, Waymo's autonomous ride-hailing service consists entirely of all-electric Jaguar I-Pace vehicles, providing a consistent zero-emission experience for their riders. Love it. Waymo, taking care of the environment. And not to mention, this is a company in Waymo that has plenty of experience when it comes to these trips. 150,000 trips per week across San Fran, LA, and of course, the Phoenix area. Waymo, they were the first company to serve a fully autonomous ride with no human behind the wheel in 2015. And if you are still having second thoughts or maybe you're unsure, well, how about this to ease your mind? Waymo has over 40 million miles of real-world driving experience. That's enough to drive to the moon and back 80 times, okay? Download the Waymo One app and ride today. Look, I don't know about the rest of our hosts here at PHNX, but I'm somebody that does talk a lot about finances and money when we're talking about our partners. And we finally have what I believe to be my perfect partner over at Monarch. Okay, look, finances, they can be messy. They can be confusing. I will speak firsthand to that. But Monarch Money acts like your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control so you can stop earning and start growing. Okay, how many of you guys in the chat, just raise your hand, have forgotten what you're paying for? Subscriptions, groceries, date nights, etc. I'm raising my hand because I'm going to be honest, if it weren't for Monarch Money, I wouldn't even know how many subscriptions I have. But thankfully, Monarch Money, they got me right. They can help get you right as well. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Make sure you use that code PHNX at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHNX. Seriously, guys, go check it out. Trust me, go check it out. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Captain Redbeard, how you doing? Talk to me, man. I want to hear from you.
I'm prepping.
You're prepping?
Prepping for big day tomorrow.
Mentally, where do you think is going to be the first hurdle?
First hurdle? Oh, boy. I don't know. I think it's something I'm not seeing. Something I'm not seeing is going to happen. I don't know if it's you and Rubis getting into it or I don't know what it's going to be. But it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
It's going to be
I think
super
it's going to be a lot of
entertaining.
fun. I think there are a lot of people here and elsewhere that are like, oh, well, this and this and this and this. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the logistics. I'm tired of figuring out what's this and what's that. Like, let's do it. Me and Rubis and you can sit here for easily 24 hours and we could just chat. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Right? We chatted for an hour about nothing before. We made it work, right? We all survived our trip to Texas together.
Yeah, that's true.
Some more under the influence than the others, but we all survived. We all made it back. We did a college football playoff show that next day, maybe hungover, but we survived, you know?
Yeah.
Like we can do 24 hours in our home, right? We can do that easy. We got a ton of content. We got guests. We got like tier lists. We got challenges. We got college basketball. We got a treadmill. We got a therapist.
Don't spoil it all.
It's teasing. It's teasing,
there
if you will. We got a ton of fun stuff. Make sure that you guys are there. Sharon's saying, make sure you guys all have food. Getting hangry would be a problem. Yeah, getting hangry, I think, would be a problem. Thankfully, we got some folks that I'm not gonna mention right now, but they've already committed to hooking the boys up with some tasty food, which I want to shed a tear. That means a lot. It means the world that I've had people be like, yo, I got you. I'm going to show up at this hour. We're going to hook you up with some food. Love that. Will saying that snack shelf behind you better be stocked. Trust me, we have already spoken to Senor Max Simpson, and snacks and coffee will certainly be on the menu for your boys because we're going to need it. Also, for everybody watching live, listening on audio, whether you have us on for a couple minutes tomorrow, if you turn us on for an hour, maybe you want to stick with us all day, we'd love it. One thing that I would really appreciate your support is if you guys do indeed watch us tomorrow for the 24-hour stream, which I hope you all do. Just keep that tab open. Never close that tab throughout tomorrow's stream, because you never know when you're going to find yourself wondering what the heck we're doing. If you want to check in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if you want to check in at 2 o'clock in the morning, just keep that tab open. You can see all the fun and the shenanigans that we're going to be getting into. I know we got some folks here at PHNX that are going to be hopping on for some fun content streams too. We got some Arizona State related guests that we're going to announce tomorrow throughout the stream as well. So definitely make sure you stick around for all of that fun. And look, while we're talking about all the stuff we're doing here at PHNX, I think now is a great time to tell you guys about the PHNX Green Jacket Open Scramble. Okay, this is going to take place April 12th at Dobson Ranch Golf Course in Mesa, a beautiful course if you've never actually been. You got a 2 p.m. shotgun start. The entry fee is going to include a ton, okay? Range balls prior to the round, 18 holes with a cart, games throughout the event, raffle and tournament prizes, PHNX tee gifts, pre-tournament Masters watch party, food, and after the round party at Dobson Ranch. Myself, couple of my friends going to be participating in that scramble. I know there's a bunch of people here at PHNX that love golfing that I'm sure are going to be out there doing the same thing. So make sure you guys can sign up as an individual or a foursome today at gophnx.com/events to take part in all of that fun April 12th at Dobson Ranch Golf Course. Again, that is gophnx.com/events to take part in all of the fun. Captain Redbeard, are you a golfer?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I haven't golfed in Arizona yet, but up in Alaska, yeah, in the summer.
So are you going to be a part of the scramble or what?
We'll have to see. I don't want to scare the competition, you know.
Wow. So you're that good? Is what I'm hearing?
I have my moments.
Wow.
If the drive's clicking, you know.
We all have our moment. What's your favorite? What's your best club?
Oh, it's the driver.
It's the driver?
Yeah,
I see it. Just absolutely just
smacking it.
Just shredding the ball.
How about you?
I would say probably my 3 hybrid. For some reason, my hybrids are like my money clubs, and we can just send those things to the moon. Me and my irons, my 6 iron specifically, me and her have a very difficult relationship. It's been on the rocks for a while. Maybe I could use some couples therapy with my 6 iron, to be completely honest with you. My driver, very hit or miss. Yeah, that's where I'm at with my clubs. But if the weather's getting better, it's like we got to go golfing.
Yeah,
it's golfing season. It's why this PHNX scramble is going to be so much fun. The weather is going to be beautiful at that point. You're going to be just like a couple weeks away from the NFL draft. Bo, Johnny, going to be out there. Like, it's going to be a great time to chat with them about everything. Spring football will be underway. Like, it's going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Again, go phnx.com. Look, I teased at the start of the show that there was a NFL legend. I'd say probably a controversial figure in the NFL that received a little gift from your Arizona State Sun Devils. That is, of course, Barstool's Jon Gruden, former Las Vegas Raiders coach. I guess he was the what's it called? The Oakland Raiders coach, I believe, at that point. Also coached the Tampa Bay Bucks a while back. But he got a little gift box from Kenny Dillingham and the Arizona State Sun Devils. So let's go ahead. We'll give you guys a look as to what Jon Gruden thought of all his new Sun Devil gear.
Hey, check this out, man. Arizona State Sun Devils. Can you imagine this place? The tradition that they have? The season they're coming off of with Coach Kenny Dillingham? They sent us a box. I got my Rick Grimes shirt on. I got my Rick Grimes switchblade. A friend of mine bought this for me at a flea market as a certificate of authenticity. This sucker's sharp. Just like my boy Rick. Oh, man. I love the Sun Devils. You know, Eric Allen, going in the Hall of Fame, one of my former corners. Great player. You remember Mark Gastineau, the sack dance? Mark Gastineau, he probably learned that at Arizona State. Terrell Suggs, Curly Culp, Jake Plummer, Frank Cush. How about John Jefferson, Gerald Riggs? How many great players they've had there? Charlie Taylor. Good God. How about Cam Scattaboo? Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is sweet. 2004. Big 12 champions. I love this. Coach Dillingham, thank you so much. You know Vontez Burfict came from Arizona State? What a tradition. Well, this is going to look good on you. I'll give that to Malisac. I like black. I like the Raider black. This is some great stuff, man. I love Arizona State. Todd Heap, tight end, extraordinaire. We were going to draft Todd Heap with the Raiders. That's a different story for a different day. Look how classy that is. Look at this. Sweet. Activate the valley, baby. I mean, this is freaking awesome. This is Randall McDaniel, Hall of Fame guard. How about Mike Haynes, Hall of Fame corner from the Raiders?
Oh, that's sick.
That is freaking awesome, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is going to get good use. Thank you, Coach.
From the Raiders. Gosh, Coach John Gruden, this guy is like Will said in the chat, certified ball knower. I don't know if you guys saw it on social media after this too. Kenny Dillingham actually quote retweeted this video and said he was adding Marcus Arroyo, Arizona State's offensive coordinator, and said, Spider 2, why banana? That's the first play that needs to be run for Arizona State next season. We're going to hold you to that, Coach. I need to see Spider 2, why banana out there. First play against NIU. Does it go for 6? I think it does. I think you'd make John Gruden very happy. This was just such a random way to start Wednesday. Just be like, what's on the internet? What is the internet doing today? And it's just John Gruden unpacking a box of Arizona State Sun Devil gear, which objectively looks awesome. The Texas to Tempe stuff is awesome. The hats are awesome. The Cali Devils shirt is awesome. The gray polo is awesome. What do we have to do? What do we have to do to get one of those boxes, Coach? Because I feel like we need one. I feel like it would go a long way. What do you think, Captain Redbeard? I feel like we could make it work. We could do a video.
We're doing a 24-hour stream.
Because of Arizona State.
Yeah.
Hook us up. Give us a box. I mean, I don't want to, be begging and pleading here. But come on, man. Help us out. That's all I'm asking for. Sharon's saying Texas to Tempe, his new favorite shirt. It's honestly my new favorite shirt, to be honest with you. Look, I want to get into more from that unboxing and a couple more quick hitters before we get out of here, but we do have to take one quick final break. Look, tomorrow is that 24-hour stream. And look, I don't know about you, but there is certainly going to be a point in the day where I just need to kick off my shoes and just relax. Whether that's because Kyle's talking my ear off or Rubis is doing something that's just driving me crazy, I'll be able to take the edge off with our friends over at Pure Edibles, which you can find at over 130 different dispensaries statewide. Look, Pure gummies, they're not covered in sugar like all their competitors, but that does not mean that it doesn't taste like candy, okay? Pure is a full-fledged candy company offering gummies, which is, they've got some kicks, their version of Starburst, chews, soft candies like caramel, and hard candies as well. Pure offers gummies for sleep support, as well as candies with uplifting effects derived with unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, and of course CBD with marijuana-derived THC. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. I don't know about you guys, but it took me a significant amount of time to find a new place to live after my last lease was up, okay? I don't know if you guys have issues buying a home, selling a home, anything in between because of how crazy the housing market is right now. But our friends and family over at the Carol Royse team are here to help you out. Doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned pro, buying a house can be tricky. And that's why we recommend our friend Carol Royse. When you go with the Carol Royse team, know that you're going to get the best home for the best possible price. I didn't know this until Carol actually came in and spoke to us. But if you guys aren't buying a home right now, if you don't own a home right now, you need to. You need to get in on that action right now. And that's not for me. That is straight from Carol Royse herself. If you're ready to find your dream home, take the next step. Call Carol Royse or visit Carol online at carolroyseteam.com. That's carolroyseteam.com. Terms and conditions apply. Goodness gracious. Appreciate everybody hopping in the chat today. And really, again, I know I've said it a bunch, but I want to just double down on this. Tomorrow, 24-hour stream, 9 a.m. on Thursday to 9 a.m. on Friday. I can't promise that Kyle, Eric, and I are all going to live to see the entirety of the 24 hours. I hope we all do. It's going to be entertaining. There's going to be laughs. There's going to be tears. There's going to be anger. There's going to be smiling. There's all of the emotions. You got to come in. You got to tune in. Okay? Especially all those diehards. We really appreciate all of your guys' consistent support and hope you guys will tune in tomorrow. I believe this is the first 24-hour stream that we've done here at PHNX, not just the ASU folks, but literally as a company. Since PHNX has been around, there has not been a 24-hour stream. I know our friends over at What Chaos within the ALLCITY network, this is, I believe they've done 2 24-hour streams, somehow survived both of them. So we're kind of breaking ground here at PHNX. So come be a part of history, if you will. I think that might be the new tagline that we're going to have to start throwing out there, Kyle. To come be a part of history.
That's a great one.
Yeah, put it on a damn t-shirt. That's the way to do it. It's historic, man. I mean, come on. Be a part of all the fun that we have to offer. Also, want to promote a new story we have over on the website, gophnx.com. Intern David actually wrote this one, and it has to do with Bobby Hurley. Headline, where did the Sun Devils basketball season go wrong? Sun Devils starting 8-1 on the year, and then it really fizzled out quick. Go check out David's story on the website, gophnx.com today. Also, a number of other stories, some news in the newsletters from Patrick Brown, who does a daily newsletter here at PHNX. So definitely go check out all the stuff that we have over on the website. We, of course, will see you guys tomorrow as well. Captain, what say you? Why do we get into a little early hot or not? You cool with all that?
Let's do it.
Some rapid fire
Firing
on
right
this
off
lovely Wednesday.
The dome. So.
Oh, right off the dome. That's what we got?
Yep.
Okay, what do we got?
Hot or not, hard candy.
Okay. I need a little bit of a clarification. Hard, like just straight up hard candies. Like old people hard candies.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man. What do you think?
I'm going to go hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you think, Paisley?
Hard candy.
Hard candies.
Like in? Like
Yeah, hot or not?
nah.
No, not hot. I've never been a big fan of hard candies, but I feel, do you throw mints into that category?
No.
No, you don't throw mints into that category?
No. Mints are their own category.
Maybe tomorrow we'll hash out the condiment discussion.
I will leave. I'll be done.
I'm going to say not hot. I'm not a giant fan of hard candies. I think if you would have thrown like the mints that you have after like a nice dinner at a restaurant in there, then I would have said hot. But overall, I'm just not like a big candy guy in general. It's not really where I go if I have if I need a sweet treat. So I'm going to say not hot on the hard candies. What do you guys in the chat think? And what is topic numero dos?
Numero dos, straws. Hot or not?
Plastic or paper, man? It's
I was just thinking straws in
all
general.
in general.
But
So
also,
we're lumping paper in with plastic.
yeah, those two are so different.
They're so different. In one, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go out there. I want to just start this off and say I'm sorry that the Turtles have to deal with this. Okay, I really am. The Turtles don't deserve all the stuff that they got to deal with. But paper straws suck. They are the single worst invention ever. They don't actually do anything. They change the taste of the drink. You get the little just paper like actually coming off the straw into your mouth, into your drink. It's disgusting and horrible. But plastic straws, love plastic straws. Again, I'm sorry to the Turtles. I make sure I recycle and throw away what I need to throw away so the Turtles aren't dealing with my straws. But hot, I guess. I'm going to say hot just because plastic straws, I think, they're a really good invention. Paper straws, though, make me want to say not hot. What do you think?
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. Plastic's hot. Paper now.
I don't think
I don't want paper in my mouth.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think I've ever seen you use a straw.
No. I'm not a straw guy, but
straws are hot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Especially with
who's a straw
certain
guy
beverages.
in this office?
Ooh, Kevin.
Kevin's a straw guy?
I think so.
Do you think that makes him like a worse person that he's a straw guy?
Just a little different.
A little different, but not a good different, you know? It's like it's a straw guy. You know? Yeah. That's tough for Kev. Tough for that guy. Jolly Ranchers are a great shout for hard candy. But I'm still gonna have to say no. I don't even know the last time I had a Jolly Rancher, to be honest with you.
They're so good.
They are really good. They're really, really good. What do we got to bring us home, Captain?
To bring us home, hot or not, I'm gonna go jerseys.
Jerseys.
Wearing a jersey.
Wearing a jersey. This may be a hot take. I hate jerseys. I hate wearing jerseys. I have hit the age where now I am 20 something. I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna go out there on that. But if I'm wearing a jersey, 9 times out of 10, it'd be wearing a jersey of somebody younger than me, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not wearing a 20-year-old's jersey. It's just not happening. And I just don't think they look good. They don't feel good. I don't. No. I don't get me wrong. I love scat. I'm not wearing his jersey. Now, if it's a game worn, maybe. But I don't people that wear jerseys out to bars or wear jerseys outside of their home to watch a game are crazy. I get if you're going to a watch party or something, sure. If you're going to your buddy's place to watch the game, sure. Why are you going out to the clubs wearing a Sean Marion jersey? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's not good. Will saying wearing a jersey with a player's name on it, not hot. Blank jersey, hot. Blank jersey.
Never even thought about that.
I didn't either. Man, leave it up to a diehard to change the way we think. What are you going with? Jerseys, hot or not?
Not
hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see you wearing a jersey.
They're kind of uncomfortable unless you get a really nice one.
Yeah. And they're so expensive.
They're so expensive.
If you want a nice jersey,
yeah,
a legit jersey, it's at least $100. At least $100. And if I'm paying that kind of money for a jersey, I'm just at this point, I'm gonna go get it signed by somebody and I'm gonna frame it and put it somewhere. I'd much rather do that than wear a jersey. I'm not gonna do the alternative. But it is what it is. Let us know in the chat. Hard candies, straws, and jerseys. What a trio today for hot or not. Look, tomorrow, plenty of hot or nots, plenty of snake drafts, plenty of content. Again, 24 hours, 9 a.m. on Thursday to 9 a.m. on Friday. But that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils show. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Captain Redbeard at KCoop Sports. We will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning to kick off some March Madness. But in the meantime, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.